What's up, everybody? Welcome inside Bank of America Stadium here for Panthers Postgame Live. I am your host, Taylor Davis, joined as always by Mike Tolbert and Kevin Donnelly. Unfortunately, the Panthers take a loss in Green Bay tonight, 24-16, and this one stung. I'm not even going to lie. This studio was pretty deflated after the end of that one, guys. It really was within grasp the entire time against a very good Green Bay Packers team. What seemed most problematic for the Panthers tonight?
Well, in my opinion, the thing that we need to do better is stop the run. You know, you look at Green Bay today, they were capable of doing so many different things in the running game, which opened up the passing game for Devontae Adams, Geronimo Allison, guys like that. And Aaron Rodgers, you give a guy like that the potential to have wide open receivers, it's a terrible thing.
Yeah, it's tough defensively when you've got a team that's running the ball well, and then you got Aaron Rodgers with some of the play action fakes. Really set them up for some nice things offensively. But Aaron, not real big numbers to me. The disappointment, a couple of turnovers by the offensive unit because one of them led to directly 7 points for the Packers, and then the other one took points off the board with the interception in the end zone there. So, to me it was, like Coach Rivera says, it's a lot of missed opportunities because this game was pretty even and back and forth, and you felt like the Panthers did a really nice job at the end to get back into it. It's just a shame some things just didn't bounce their way today.
Absolutely. Missed opportunities certainly becoming trigger words for Panthers fans. But right now we are going to send it back out to the snowy tundra of Lambeau Field to check in with Bill Voth and Caroline Can.
3, 2, and 1. Well, guys, Caroline, you had everything we would want here tonight, right? You had snow in a historic venue. You had some snow on the camera here, right? Snow all over the place. Everything you'd want except for a Panthers win.
Yeah, this really would have been just a winter wonderland that we would have remembered with great memories of what the Panthers were able to do here, but they come up short after a really big push there at the end, but a lot of questions of just what was left out on the field here in Green Bay.
Yeah, Kyle Allen really helped them fight back at the end, but 2 mistakes by him, that fumble in the first half and then an interception when the Panthers were driving in the red zone in the third quarter really hurt.
Yeah, they did. And listen, it's Aaron Rodgers, and he's at home, and this is everything that Green Bay Packer football is about. So you knew it was going to be a hard, tough battle, and the Panthers unfortunately let some plays slip away today, and you're going to end up losing here in Green Bay if you do that.
Not the worst loss in the world to lose here. Of course, you would like to win, but the Panthers are now 5-4 as they head home and will play Atlanta next week. Guys, back to you.
Thank you both. Hope you're staying warm out there, as warm as you possibly can. We're a little toasty in here in Charlotte. I'm not going to lie. I want to go back to the defense for a second. Something that stood out and something we were talking about when watching the game were some of the big plays that they gave up, whether it was Aaron Jones' explosive runs or big completions to Jimmy Graham. Those moments create a lot of momentum for the Packers. Where did you see a lot of struggles for this defense? And keep in mind, they were without James Bradbury tonight.
Well, obviously, going against a potential Hall of Famer in Aaron Rodgers, playing with your second and third cornerbacks is not something that you want to do, but you have to adjust.
Right.
And this defense just wasn't able to adjust today. We are last in giving up the amount of big plays in defensive-wise, in the league this year. And that's something that we have to get corrected if we want to get to be a better team. So.
Yeah, I think within this game, some of the open passes wide, like down the middle of the field, and it really was function of that too, is our rush couldn't get there. We're the best rushing defense in terms of getting after the quarterback with 35 or 36 sacks, whatever that number is. And there was times where he had all day to throw. And so defensively, it just made it so tough. He was able to look around, find who he wanted to get it to, and just never really put tons of pressure on him. There were some sacks, there were some moments, some hits, but overall there wasn't that constant pressure that we're used to seeing this Panther defense do.
Now, both of these defenses tonight were going to have a tough time against the run game. Guys like Aaron Jones, Christian McCaffrey really making their mark on the league. When you look at games like that do start to rely heavily on the run game, and these defenses are having to adjust to such powerful athletes, what does that do for this Panthers defense when they come back and kind of look at the drawing board and say, okay, we were up against a really good running team. Here's how we performed. How do you think this could be a learning experience for them?
Well, they have to continue to get better. That's the main thing right now. The past few weeks, they've played against some really dominant running backs, whether it's Leonard Fournette or Derrick Henry or this week with Aaron Jones. You know, these guys can run the football well, but offensively, we can run the football well and keep the ball out of those guys' hands. You look at Christian McCaffrey, he had 20 carries for 108 yards. You know, he was doing very well on the ground. I think we should have stuck with that a little bit more to keep Aaron Rodgers and that offense off the field.
Yeah, the offense had 400 yards. I mean, they were able to get up and down the field. Just we didn't see the productivity in terms of actually getting in the end zone and getting some points. But they kept it close enough that they still could rely on their running game. Christian got what he always gets, probably over 140 yards this game. So that's not really the big issue. But I think I go back to defensively what you said about stopping the run. That's something that's been a problem week in and week out for this team, and it's really, to me, the Achilles heel. If they can find a way to just get better these last 7 games at stopping the run, there'll be a much better chance to win some of these tough battles coming up in our division.
I'm sure those will be points of emphasis for head coach Ron Rivera as well. So let's send it back out to Green Bay, hear from him in the press conference room.
Ron, just to kind of get it out of the way early, that roughing call, what did you see on that play in the end zone? And also, what did that do at that point?
Well, it gave them an opportunity to continue their drive. I mean, that's the disappointment is, of the call. I mean, I can't get up here and criticize the call, even though I disagree with the call. I can't criticize. I'm not going to criticize the call. But, from what I saw on anyways. It extended their drive. I mean, at the end of the day, we were able to stop them and keep them from scoring. But we had them backed up. We could have had them punt. We could have gotten good field position. Ifs and whats and candies and nuts. So it's disappointing. All right.
On the broadcast, it said that it was moot because they didn't score, but it took so much time.
No, it's not moot because, again, we could have got the ball with field position. Could have. Unfortunately, the play was close. It's a game of inches. I'm not going to talk about strategy.
Rodney, the 2 points, is that strictly analytics?
Yes, that was purely analytics, 100%. The thing is, if you get it there and then you score at the end, then you're kicking to win the game. If you don't get it there, you get an opportunity to go for 2 again, which we feel pretty good about the play we had called the first time, and we felt good about having the second one up. So it's most certainly something, Joe, that we went ahead and just follow the analytics of it.
Hey, Ron, obviously the math is really airtight on that call, but when you talked earlier this weekend and the weeks past about balancing gut decision-making and feeling and the flow and your own experience as a head coach with the math, at what point does the math overrule all the other things?
Again, it just depends on the flow. I mean, the conditions outside, the numbers aren't being taken into consideration. So at that point, as you go into it, you've got to look at it too, because with the way the weather was turning, what's to say you could have gotten a clean snap, a clean hold, and a clean kick too. So again, sometimes, those are some of the factors that aren't measured.
How would you describe Kyle's day?
It was an interesting day. He did some really good things. He really did. Unfortunately, we had the 2 turnovers that we struggled with. We didn't get any as a defense. We eventually got to the passer. They did some good things too. Their quarterback did some good things as well. But he had an interesting day. I thought he did the things we needed him to do to give us a chance at the end, at least. And again, he's continuing to grow. Let's not forget, this is almost like a rookie year for him. He's done some really good things though.
On the interception, the tip down there, did you feel like he had a chance to run there? Is there something you'd like to see different?
I'd like them not get the ball tipped and intercepted. I mean, that's the truth. The guy's trying to make a play, and I'm not going to fault a guy for putting it all on the line and trying to make plays and trying to make things happen.
Ryan, just the way he responded, in particular under these conditions, I know he came up short.
Yes.
Did you like how he?
I love his moxie. I love his toughness, his mental toughness. The young man's going to go out there. We're going to learn and we're going to grow with him, and that's just the way it is. I mean, the young man's done a terrific job, and unfortunately, we had a couple bad things happen.
Ron, the run defense has been a point of struggle.
Yep.
I know you said it has to get better.
It does, and talking about it is not good enough. We work on it, and we just got to get better at it.
How would you sum up the overall game today for you guys?
I'm sorry.
How would you sum up the overall game today?
Close, but not good enough. I mean, that's the truth of the matter. It's a matter of inches. We had chances to make plays and we didn't. We missed some tackles. We missed some blocks. And you can't expect to win football games, especially against really good football teams. I'm sorry?
The decision to make Dorff inactive today?
Just because of the situation with some of the other positions, we felt we needed to, to shore up a couple other things.
You mentioned the missed tackles. What did you see from the secondary without having Bradbury?
Well, the hard part is, and again, this speaks to Aaron Rodgers' ability to escape the pocket. He held the ball early in the first half. He held the ball a while, and he couldn't find his receivers. And then eventually they got open because, he was able to scramble and get away from our pass rush. I mean, I thought they did a nice job. We got beat a couple times because we were, we weren't as disciplined as we needed to be.
Ron, you had your defensive backs making most of your tackles today, at least among the leading tacklers. Is that a bad sign?
Well, what it is we've got to be able to counter what they're doing as far as the run is concerned. At the end of the day, when what teams are doing throughout the league, if you look at, there's a lot of safeties that are leading tacklers as well, because teams are spreading you out and then they're forcing you to try and insert your corners into the tackles. It's something you see a lot of people doing now.
Ron, this at the end of the game, at least, was sort of reminiscent of the Tampa game from earlier today with Christian, and he took that one so hard. Is there anything you can say to a guy in a moment like that to sort of ease some of the pressure that he's feeling?
Well, the truth of the matter is, you just tell him, hey, you played hard, your heart out, you gave us everything you got, and it's unfortunate it didn't work out that way. I mean, it's a team game, and at the end of the day, I promise you, a couple guys probably felt, I wish I could have got a better block, or Kyle might have said, I wish maybe I could have changed the play or something. But, at the end of the day, as long as the guys are out there competing, giving their best, they don't need to apologize for anything.
Do you like your chances there when the ball's in his hands?
Without a doubt, I like my chances when it's in his hands. I like it when it's in Kyle's hands. I like it when it's thrown to DJ. I like when it's thrown to Curtis. I like when it's thrown to Greg or Jerry. I mean, I got a lot of confidence in all the guys we have. I got a lot of confidence in our play callers. Again, this is one of those things that it truly was a matter of inches.
Colin Jones got a little bit of playing time looked like in the first half. Was that
Yes.
run support?
Well, it was a package-based defense, and then with the injuries that we had, having to put James down, we just couldn't get through it. So we had to make an adjustment to one of our packages.
When they're trying to force your corners and your defensive backs to tackle a little bit more, does that make it even more difficult when you have to rotate through corners as often as you
Yes,
guys did?
it does, and it's one of the things that you wish you could shore up. I don't know if you noticed too, Cole Luke played actually pretty well and made a couple plays for us. So, we got a group of guys that we feel very strongly about, and again, it's just just something we've got to be able to adjust to and make the plays when we have opportunities.
Ron, what's the status for Dennis Daly right now?
Oh, we'll find out. We really won't know anything until I talk to the trainers and doctors.
How are the conditions, Ron?
They really weren't that bad. The field was in pretty good shape considering the snow and the moisture on it. But again, one of the things that we talked to our guys about was wearing the right types of shoes. For the most part, I think our guys wore 7 studs, the screw-ins, and I think that kind of helped our guys.
Did you get an explanation from the referees on that field goal when Gerald was lined up over the center?
What happened was when we shifted down into it, we shifted too tight. We got to be close on that. You can't cover them up. Apparently, the referee that threw the flag felt that we had covered up the shoulders, which you're not allowed to. So, again, if that's the case, when I get a chance to watch on tape, then that's purely on us. Coaching. We at that point, we probably would have been better off not shifting down into it.
Ron, you mentioned DJ's performance from, this is the second straight 100-yard game for him. How much is he maturing and developing?
Well, he's just taking advantage of his opportunities. He's done a nice job, in what we do, and really appreciate the effort that he gives us, in practice and in the games. We're good? Cool. Thank you, guys.
Certainly some great insight from the head coach. I want to go back to what he was saying about Kyle Allen. He said this was an interesting day for him, but keep in mind this is essentially like his rookie year. And up until this point, he's been having to play kind of in the shadow of Cam Newton and the question of, is Cam coming back? Now Cam is officially on IR. Kyle is the guy, and he can play as such. What did you guys see from him today?
Well, he played well, in my opinion. I mean, minus the 2 turnovers, he played well. But you can't fault a guy for trying to make a play, especially down in the red zone. You know, he saw a wide open receiver. He tried to give him the ball, and the ball got tipped. You know, I think he did the things he needed to do to give his team a chance to win. And we just got to be more successful in those situations where we're not getting penalties at bad times, or we're not, you know, making bonehead mistakes, you know, jumping off sides or doing things like that.
Yeah, I think, you know, when you look at the body of his work today, I thought a very good game, over 300 yards passing. He did complete about 65% of his passes, had the touchdown and the interception. But like Mike said, it was a tip pass. I think the costly one was the fumble. And, you know, it's hard to pin down just 1 or 2 mistakes in the game, but right there, really just giving them the ball where we did, right at the 50-yard line. They were able to take that down and get the score and take the first lead of the game at 14-10 for the Packers. You know, kind of a mixed bag, because really on that last drive, some pretty good throws, and he got that team in a position to score. They fell short, but on the road against a Hall of Fame quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, it's you couldn't, I think, ask for a better performance from a guy that's only started about 9 games in the NFL.
We also saw a couple good runs from him today, something that we don't always get to see them utilize, but he implemented his run game a little bit more. So definitely a guy that can continue to improve, especially as we start getting into some division matchups. This was a great learning opportunity for him, but we did mention Aaron Rodgers. I mean, one of the all-time greats. And you said earlier today, not the biggest numbers for him today, but just a guy that you know week in and week out, he's going to lead his team where they need to go. How special is he?
I tell you what, he's special. And today, you know, there were some throws that he really made that he did a good job. But what I liked about Aaron Rodgers is the way he's able to move around in the pocket and buy time.
Right.
Driving me crazy, probably like every other Panther fan out there, because you think you got him. You think you got a pass rush there to bring him down. He just moves a little bit or rolls out of there and buys extra time and makes some plays downfield. And that's what he's been so good at and got it done today, too.
Right. I actually read an article today that Julius Peppers was talking about what he sees in Aaron Rodgers, former defensive end for the Panthers that played against him quite a few times. And he said his pocket presence is what's special, but he also said it's the intangibles, his intellect of the game and the way he manages the pre-snap and all of those things that might necessarily not show up in the stats column, but that's just a guy that's going to rally his team. So we definitely saw that execution from him today. Well, let's get some insight from Kyle Allen on his game. He caught up with Caroline Can.
Well, Kyle, I know it's not the ending you guys wanted, but to have that type of drive, to be able to go down there, what does that say about you guys and fighting for this?
Hey, good job today. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't mean much. Like, we were going to fight no matter what, but there's plays to be made out there, and there's too many mistakes today.
We are going up against a divisional opponent this coming week. How do you rebound from this?
Same way we rebounded after San Francisco. It's a new week. Doesn't matter.
Great. Thanks, Kyle.
All right. Thank you, Caroline, for the on-the-field interview in the snow. I'm glad I'm here in the warm studio with my good buddy Mike Tolbert. We're going to break down a couple of plays here in the game that were really big. To me, this one was huge, okay, because we had the Packers stopped. This is going to be a 3rd down. It's a tackle in the end zone. It's going to be, I believe, the personal foul, roughing the passer on McCoy. And so this sets up, it could have been a punt. Panthers are going to get this thing at midfield probably with a chance to score before halftime. But this is the way it unfolds. As we watch this play go, you'll see the pressure's there. They're able to get Aaron off of his mark. So he's moving a little bit here. There's the pressure. Pause it there. That's the first movement there. He begins to throw this. But McCoy's right there on him about to tackle him. They end up calling roughing the passer. I don't see it.
Well, I don't see it either, but the rule, as you let it play, the rule is the defender cannot land with full body weight on the quarterback. If it is, it's roughing the passer, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. As you let it play, you see Gerald McCoy, he actually turns his whole body to the side so he doesn't land on him.
Yeah, you can see, I mean, he's more than 2/3 of his body is kind of on the field here with just his arm and a little bit of a chest on Aaron there. So it didn't look like the full weight of his body got on Aaron.
I mean, but in the referee's perspective, he was back here, so he did see, you know, that what it looked like could have been a penalty. But, I mean, it's just a bad call by the ref.
Yeah, and we bring this up because I think it's a bad call. Coach Rivera won't say it, but we can.
Right.
Listen, I think this was a big changing point in this game because there could have been points for us, like I said before half. They end up going all the way down the field. So let's flash forward now to the final. And I'm glad this guy got some redemption right here because I thought it was a bad call, not his fault. But McCoy comes off this thing, like a bat out of Hades and stops this thing. No points right before the half for the Packers.
Right. Well, you can tell as you let it play. You can tell a man that's on a mission right now. He's angry. He's upset for that play call.
I do not like going against those.
Right. So when you let a big guy like that, if you let it play right here, you see he gets an amazing get off right here, right now. He gets an amazing get off, and this guard has no option, nothing he can do about it. Gerald McCoy makes a tackle right here in the backfield, tackle for loss. And if you didn't see the end of the play, he got up and he just walked right to the locker room. He didn't celebrate with anybody. That's how angry he was.
Well, I love this. I know we lost this game, but I love seeing Williams right here, double stacked by 650 pounds. At least inflict some pain on them that they might feel it for next week.
Right.
So some big plays in this game obviously didn't go the Packers' way, but now we're going to hear from Kyle Allen. He's at the press conference. We heard him from the field, so let's go to hear him from the mic.
All right, let's do it.
How would you evaluate your personal game today?
It's not good enough. Too many turnovers today. Too many missed opportunities by me. And we knew coming in against this team, they're a team that doesn't turn the ball over much. Aaron does a really good job of not turning the ball over and making plays when he needs to. And for me to turn the ball over twice, it put us in bad position. And I think at the end of the day, that's the main reason why we lost is turnovers. I think that's the biggest thing in the league. And for us to have 2 and them to have 0 is a big reason why they won.
On the fumble, were you just in a hurry to get it to Christian?
Yeah, it was just a fumbled snap. I mean, it was no hurry or anything. I think just didn't get it.
What did you see on the interception?
That's just a play where we were reading front side to Christian, and I saw a seam to the left, so I could scramble and try to make something happen. And I saw Jarius pop open and break in, and I tried to get it out. And as I was throwing, I saw the free safety come, and I just tried to fit it in a window that I didn't need to on 2nd down. And I'm lucky the free safety didn't pick it off first, but then it got tipped up in the air and it got intercepted anyways. But I mean, it's just something I got to learn. It's just 2nd down. We have more plays to play. We can save the play, so it's on me.
Hey, Kyle, I know that's a learning experience, obviously, and there's going to be more, and there have been some. How do you balance trying to effectively carry this team to where it wants to be, while also understanding that there are things mid-game that you have to learn?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I've said before, the more starts I get under the belt, the more experience I have, the more mistakes I make, the more I learn from them. But at the same time, I know I'm a young guy, but I'm the quarterback of this team. I can't be doing that. This is a very talented team. And when we play clean football, we can win a lot of games. And it doesn't matter what age I am. It doesn't matter how many starts I have. I have to play clean football, or else it's not fair to this team.
Take us through what you saw, final handoff to Christian. Was there a hole there? What?
Yeah, I mean, I love the play call. I mean, I think if you saw it at the snap, there was a hole there. And I mean, Christian's the best player on our offense. He's touted MVP. So our last play of the game on the 2-yard line, let's give him the ball. I love the play call, but we just got to get it in.
Some people feel like, hey, it was close, came back at the end, inches away, but I have a feeling you're not really in the world.
No, doesn't matter. It's a win or a loss league.
On that, can you talk a little bit more about that 4th down drive? You had some pretty amazing conversions, and then on the play right before the handoff, did you have a shot at Christian?
I did, and I missed it. And that's another opportunity that we had. We put it on him, he scores, and we go 0 for 2. So that's on me.
How about the 4th and 10? How'd you convert that?
I mean, it's just we knew 4th and 10 that we were going to have to get past the sticks. So we just ran everyone past the sticks, and just DJ ran a really good route, got his guy to come off of him, and I just put it up there, and he went and got the ball. So it was a big conversion for us, but it didn't matter.
In that 2-minute drill at the end, you and Greg were really clicking, and then, through our binoculars, I might not have seen it correctly, but he looked like he said something in the huddle during that time, one of the timeouts. Having him on the field with you, kind of being that presence late in the game in crunch time like that, was that?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. He has a ton of experience through all these situations. So not only for me, but the entire offense, he understands what we need to do just situationally. And so he's been huge. I don't remember what he said in that situation, but I'm sure it was helpful. He always is in those situations. He's always helping out and saying things that only a veteran could say,
How were the conditions out there generally?
It's fine. I mean, it's snowing, but it wasn't cold. It wasn't wet. It's fine. It was fun to play in the snow,
What are you feeling on the 2-point conversion there? I know Ron said analytics. What are your thoughts on analytics and what is it to do right now?
I mean, that's their job. I haven't studied analytics before. I just know that when they call that play, I got to execute it.
Anything else? Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Certainly a lot of respect when we hear him in these press conferences every single week, and whether it's a win or a loss, he is consistently saying what he needs to do for this team. Play clean football, continue to learn. He handles himself like a veteran, even though we're saying he's still very early in his career. I want to get your opinion on the offense, though, specifically down at the very end when we had that opportunity to at least tie this thing up, take it into overtime, and even got some extra opportunities after an offsides call. And they just were not able to get it into the end zone. From the offensive side of the ball, what did you think was lacking tonight?
Well, I think it's just execution. I mean, obviously the play call was there. You know, it was opportunity, and the play calling was there. The play calling was good enough to get you in that position. You know, so the execution is what that you need to get right, you know, in order to make a stand right there and to get in the end zone and push it to overtime. You know, Green Bay is a very talented team, but this Panthers team is a very talented team as well, with a lot of young core players that can, if we get it together, if this team gets it together and comes in the meeting room and do the things that need to be done, and on the practice field, do those things that need to be done, this team can be really, really good.
Yeah, I think, you know, close to the goal line and some of the plays that they dialed up, I think those were some good plays because you couldn't run the ball there. And essentially, you take one of your best weapons out of it when Christian McCaffrey's not able to get the rock, and he almost scores on an impossible run there to finish off the game to maybe possibly tie it. So when you take him out of the mix, I think it's just tighter. All that real estate's just compressed. I mean, there's so many bodies around, and you're asking a young quarterback to make a game-winning play for you. So I think it's just not his time yet. He has to get more experience. There could have been an opportunity to maybe run with it, throw it away quicker, look to a sideline instead of the middle. There's so many different things that he'll learn from the film, and it's exactly what you said to start. Listen, he knows all the things he has to work on. That's his priority. He's going to get right to work on it so he can play better against Atlanta.
Well, he even said in the press conference, those are opportunities that I need to learn. I don't have to force something on second down. I need to allow my teammates around me to have another opportunity and not make a mistake. So definitely need to have some patience as this guy is working hard and committed to improving his game. But as you guys said on the touchscreen, a guy that got a little bit of redemption today was Gerald McCoy there for the defense. He is with Caroline Can now.
I'm here with Gerald McCoy, the CPI voice of the defense. And Gerald, we're in this busy hallway right outside the locker room. What was the message from Coach after a game like this?
Just stick together. You know, we're not far off. Gave ourselves a chance, but we got to, you know, we're close. But you always hate to go on the road and lose those. But we got 7 guaranteed opportunities. Just take it one day at a time, one game at a time.
Well, Gerald, you were able to make a pretty big statement play before going into half. Did that give you guys life to come out of that second half?
Yeah, well, it gives you, you know, it's a way to finish. And, you know, you want to give your team an opportunity. And we knew we needed to get a big stop. Coach called a great play, and we got off the field.
Well, now you guys start playing more divisional games here, a big one coming up this weekend against Atlanta. How do you get past this game, and what's kind of the direction going back home?
Well, you know, just learn from the mistakes, build on the positive, and go on to the next one. You know, we got still a lot of great opportunity in front of us, and we can't let this one linger. Just do our best to move forward and go on to the next one.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us. That's Gerald McCoy, the CPI voice of the defense.
Thank you, Caroline. You can definitely tell there's a sense of disappointment with this one, right? I mean, the 49ers loss was ugly, and that one hurt. But the fact that this one really was within reach is a tough pill to swallow. But they have a division game this upcoming week. And with the Falcons, what you might have thought was about to be an easy game, they are coming off a win against the Saints. Who saw that coming? Not me. As they switch gears to face the Falcons, what has to be their mindset coming off of this one?
Protecting your home field. You know, the Falcons are coming here. This is our stadium. That has to be the mentality all week long. This is our stadium. Nobody comes into the bank and cashes a check. This is our stadium. So they got to come with that mentality starting on Wednesday when they go to practice, and it's got to carry over to Sunday.
Yeah, I think this was a disappointing game because it's another chance to be in the national spotlight and propel yourself into the ranks of the better teams in the NFL. But now you lose to the Packers like you did the 49ers in 2 big games. So now what do? You got to regroup against the team that just did an outstanding job beating down the Saints. I love that. I love that the Saints lost. That means something today on a Panther loss day.
True.
So that's great. But wow, this team, and it just shows that the line of talent in the NFL is so very close. We say it all the time. When a team executes properly, like Mike was saying about our team, when they execute properly, the Falcons did some damage today. So they are going to be a tough out. And it's like Mike said, you got to protect your turf, man. When they come to the bank next week, you got to shut them out, send them home crying.
All right.
Protect your home field. Well said. I'm surprised Kevin didn't chest bump you after that one. He gets fired up for a home game. Well, everybody, thank you for joining us here on Panthers Postgame Live. Be sure and tune in again next week after the game with the Falcons. We'll break down all the action for you then. Have a good week, everybody.